My name is Bob Kelly. I'm from McDonald, Pennsylvania. This is our Thew Dipot horizontal crowd steam shovel, built in 1913. It was shipped new in August the 29th to Brantford, Ontario, Canada, for this city, and it's spent its whole lifetime up there. In 1999, I found out about it, made the trip up there, located it, purchased it, and I believe in 2000 we went up and got everything freed up on it, got it jacked up out of the ground, and worked on it, freed up whatever we could to get it loaded. 2001, we made the trip up with the lowboy and the tools and everything to get it loaded, brought it home. We worked on it off and on, not much, for a couple of years until I retired, and then we started working on it steady, and it took us about 2 years to restore it. And I've always wanted to own my own steam shovel. I've been interested in steam all my life, had traction engines before, operated Rusty McGinnis's Erie B shovel, really liked it. So my family, it was a family deal. The whole family worked on it. We didn't have to contract out anything. We did all the work in-house. My son and grandsons did most of the mechanical work. My son-in-law built the house, did all the carpenter work. My daughter and grandson did the lettering, the painting. It was a real family thing, and we enjoyed. I believe it was 2006, we finally had it ready to bring over to National Pike. It made its debut in May, and it's been here ever since, and will stay here. It's too costly to transport it, so we just leave it here, and we have a building, we can put it in here. And it's quite a unique machine. Captain Richard Thew designed this with the horizontal crowd. He was a captain on an ore boat on the Great Lakes, and they needed a way of cleaning the docks. And the docks were made out of wood, and a regular shovel would rip the wood up, where he designed this horizontal crowd which would just skim across the top of the docks and load it, and it worked really great. But after about a year of him building these, they designed another method of unloading, so it kind of went by the wayside. There were very few of these with the horizontal crowd made, and as far as we know, this is the only one left in existence. It's definitely the only one left that is operational. Okay, as you can see, the horizontal crowd, that little dipper travels horizontally across the track here. It's driven by a log chain, driven by the crowd engine mounted on the boom. It's quite a unique thing. The company was called the Thew Automatic Shovel Company. Automatic meaning there was an automatic trip on the crowd, so you didn't jam it when you were crowding out against the end of the boom, and the same way coming back. You stand up to operate it. There's no conveniences here. And it is on traction wheels, which they had to use usually with planking on the ground because they get stuck relatively easy, just in a little bit of soft ground, and the wheels spin. So they always laid planking, which meant it involved having a large crew on the ground just to keep the shovel operating, to move the planking ahead or back, whatever was needed. Okay, your left-hand lever is your swing lever to swing your house either right or left. Your lever up here is your crowd lever. It is actually mounted on the boom to crowd your bucket in or out. The third lever here is your master clutch that throws it in and out of gear. And your right-hand lever is your hoist lever. Down on the floor here is your hoist brake for your bucket. And to travel the machine, you have to get it in neutral and pull this lever. That engages a dog over there on your travel shaft to engage your traction wheels in gear. Now, to steer this machine, you have a hand crank that you actually have to have one of your grounds people turn the crank to wind your chains up to either steer right or left. which is quite unique, and OSHA would never approve of it today. Your hoist lever here actually raises your bucket up or down, depending on what height you need, if you're loading trucks or just dumping. The bucket on this has actually pivots, swivels. It was something that Thew designed that they thought if the corner of the bucket caught on a rock, the bucket actually pivots around to face the rock, so they claimed there wasn't as much strain on the bucket. And it was an idea that didn't really go over big. It does work, but it's confusing because the bucket's spinning around a lot whenever you do get in rocky ground. You can actually dump, I think it's around 10 foot high with it. You can't really, but back those days they mostly loaded horse-drawn dump wagons in 1913. They really didn't have any trucks. Okay, this is actually your steering axle here, and this shaft coming out with the square end is where you put your hand crank, and the ground person stands here and cranks it right or left. It steers similar to a traction engine as the chains wind up on one side and let off on the other side to make whatever turn you want to make. The back end of the machine is where your driving gears are, the horizontal travel shaft.